finish this film last year. I had to go to Kickstarter. Now I needed to pay the union $200,000. Now that seems like a lot, but it's not considering how many songs are in this film. And everybody's, you know, anybody done a Kickstarter project here or participated in anything? Okay, you know what it's like. You basically, you go for it. If you don't reach your goal, you don't get your money. So yeah, you could go for $100 or $100,000. You got to decide what it's worth. I knew I needed 200. I went for 250 because I knew I needed that 50,000 to cover the expenses of Kickstarter. You got all those, you know, the rewards, and you got the shipping. You had to do all that. Everybody, including Kickstarter, said to me, "Do you know only 1% of all projects over 100,000 ever make it?" And that, you know, that's like death. I mean, when you think about it, you don't have a chance. And the other thing was only 49% ever reach their goal, no matter what their you know, goal is. But I knew I had to do it. If I didn't do it, I've been talking about this project for 18 years. If I don't, you know, finish this, my name is, you know, it's mud. So I said, I gotta go for it. I gotta go to the wall all the way. But where I had a chance is I had a finished film. And over these years, I built on an audience. All this mass media between Twitter, Facebook, everybody spreading the word. I was able to build an audience. When I started Kickstarter, I had 25,000 people on my fan page. And again, it's not and I had another 25,000 emails on my website. So I knew I had a chance for the just get whatever it is, 10%, you know, given so much. And we ended up doing 312,000. And people were like, oh my God, you know, blown away. I was blown away, but not, I had a feeling I could do it. And that has got us to where we are today. And we'll probably release this film. Magnolia Pictures wants to release it in March. So the thing about, you know, if you're doing a project, or it doesn't matter what you're doing or whatever your work is, it's about connecting to your product, connecting to your audience. I'll take this film around the country and I'll try to market it towards a demographic that works for the film. Your demographic is extremely young in terms of, you might not find it interesting unless you watched it. So it's a little more difficult to get to you guys. Musicians, piece of cake. I go to any community, I hit every music store, I hit every music school, I hit everything music record shop, they all come because they know about it. Then I hit a demographic of 40 plus. I'll hit stores, coffee shops, I'll hit retirement homes. I mean, I go nuts. What I do is I try to find sponsors everywhere I go. I'll go to a city and say, you know what, I'll give you 500. You give me $500, I'll put your name up on the screen before we play, and I'll give you 20 tickets. And it's like, well, that's good advertising, you know. Sometimes it works, but that pays for my travel. So it's all about marketing and twisting and turning and spinning the story to work for you. So now I've been rambling. So tell me, you have a question.
When you, because I'm just hearing the story too a little bit more and more at a time. So how you had to personally invest in this project, and then the challenges, obviously the monetary challenges to pay for it, were one of the major obstacles on it. But how common is it for you? I mean, how do you contextualize you within the big, say, LA movie scene and documentary scene? Do people have to put as much effort into it as you have personally? Does everybody do that in the field?
Documentaries, very few documentaries are like funded, meaning like, you know, I'm going to hire you. You know, I believe in you. Here's $100,000. Go make this. Most documentaries are self-funded. They call it a labor of love. You know what that means? No one's helping you but yourself. You know, the only people that helped me was Visa, Wells Fargo, mortgage company, MasterCard. They helped me, and then they cut me off. So they, you know, now they want their money back. I don't understand. I don't recommend it if you can't afford it. I couldn't afford it, but the problem I had was this was too personal to me. There was that point in 2006, and it was John Sayles was a director, and I heard him say it once. You cross a line, and there's no turning back. I crossed that line in 2006. I had to make that film because my wife thought we just made the most expensive home movie ever. We didn't even have anything. You know, I spent a couple $100,000 at this point. It's stupid, but I did it. You know, I'm working in between all that time, you know, but if it's your labor of love, you gotta go for it. If it's a record, you wanna do it, do it. If it's art project, just do it. Get off your ass and do whatever you wanna do. You know, don't take no. But you have no idea how many people said, hey, it's not gonna work. You know, I believed in it. I knew I had something. Now, if it was a bomb in 2008, if we didn't have those reviews and it wasn't well received, that would have ended this. That would have been it. But I knew we still have something to go to. You know, I knew I couldn't let it die there. And that could be my sickness too, so.
So a lot of times people do a passion project like this after they've made it. Like Dave Grohl's making docs like crazy
Right.
now. But starting out like this, like you really poured heart and soul and money into.
Yeah, and people would say there's 3 or 4 other documentaries. Standing in the Shadows, which is the story of Motown, that was done, it came out I think 2002 or whatever. It's the same story basically. And unfortunately, I panicked. And I used to do IMAX films. I used to do, you know, I'd run around the world shooting sharks and bears and all kinds of fun things. But when I talked to my friend at Discovery, I panicked. He says, listen, how many lion films do we do? He says, there's always another side to that story. You know, so you don't have to worry about it. The thing that those guys had, and Muscle Shoals doc that's out, 20 Feet to Stardom, excuse me, is that water?
Good stuff.
Do you know? No problem, mouth is drying up. They had angels, financial angels. You know, they had some of that, you know, they had someone to do it. You know, they said, hey, you know, Slutsky, go do this film. So I didn't have that, you know, so that's why I had to, you know, keep on doing it. Any other questions? No, you raise your hand. Yes.
Is Nancy Sinatra still a babe?
You know what? She's still a babe. That's great. The question was, is Nancy Sinatra still a babe? You know what? She is, and I will tell her that she asks.
Okay, please do.
You have some great stories about some of the people that your dad worked with, like that.
Yeah. You know, here's a great example of, I don't know if you guys will get it because you don't know the characters that well. Thank you so much.
No problem.
You know, here's the thing is why these guys were in demand. The reason was the record industry, they were called the wrecking crew. If you didn't catch it, it was because the older guys said they're going to wreck the business playing this rock and roll crap. It was at its infancy. It's 1960s, the early 60s. Rock and roll is only 5 years old. The business of rock and roll is really questionable because at that point the charts are still like pop hits of the Nat King Cole's or I think the top record in one of the was King and I was a Broadway show.